Hello Sagittarius, Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead. How are you, Saggies? Welcome to the weekend. I hope you're well. I've got some oracles here that we've been looking through this week. This is for the overall feel of next week. I'm always reading for the week ahead if you're brand new, by the way. That's how I read. And then after we throw these, we are going to hit it with some tarot and get you some details. So Sagittarius, if you've never been here before, welcome here. I appreciate that you're giving this a shot, and I hope you'll stay. There's a subscription button down the bottom right-hand corner if you decide to stay. Sag, if you're the ride or die and you're back, thank you. I appreciate you so very much. My fire family. I'm a Sag rising, so you are definitely my fire family. So if you're interested in private reads or you're interested in extended, I will talk about that at the end of this video. Let's get into it. Tell me about Sagittarius. Oh, by the way, Friday the 8th, that is the Lionsgate portal. So look, this is your time for abundance and power and infinite things. Make sure you're participating in manifestations and rituals and clearing old wounds, and activation of the soul gifts could be possible at this time. So journaling, meditating, that kind of thing. It's a cosmic alignment, right? Because Earth is in line with Sirius star system and Orion's belt. So it's kind of an auspicious time. It's a powerful time. It's offered to everyone. So if you choose to take advantage, I mean, it can't hurt, right? Let's find out what's going on, Sag. It's in Leo, right? Leo. So we've got the wandering path. Enjoy the journey. And so this is something that I tell people all the time when I'm reading for them privately, is that, you know, they're like, okay, well, where are they going to be? Where are they going to be? Are they going to be under that street light at the corner of my street on Tuesday the 14th at 2 p.m.? They always want to know what the end result is. But it's really, tarot is about enjoying the journey and finding out how you get there and finding out how to navigate the way there. So the end result is far less important than what you learn along the way. So I feel like that's sort of the stage that you're in right now. You're in the stage of enjoying the journey. So I feel like someone here has got the map, they've got the compass, and they're really, really smart looking at these two tools, right? You're using your tools to go on some sort of path, or you might be in the midst of the journey right now. Let's get one more card. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sag. We've got hello again, recycle, recover, card number 21. You could be dealing with some old relationships, friendships, or ideas, like ideas that you've had from the past might crop up again for you here in the week ahead. Tell me what else we need to know about Sagittarius. Tell me more about Sag. We've got grief. Okay, so it's about letting go of old things. Now look, we're also in Mercury retrograde. Don't forget that. And, you know, Mercury retrograde isn't always based on love. It's a time for us to be able to resolve things, and that's why things usually come back around. I think for you, Sag, that you might be closing old doors and resolving some of the griefs that you've been through in the past here. It says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Now, for some of you, something you've lost is coming back around because we have recycle. It's a recycled something or other. Could be a recycled thought, could be a recycled relationship or friendship. It could be that you have to rebound back around to something in order to resolve it, bring it to the surface, resolve it, and let it go. But I feel like this is part of your journey. It feels like this is part of the wandering path here. So we've got at the bottom of the card, we have infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring onto your life. And so I feel like that's what's going on right now, that you are in a really infinitely abundant time. The 8-8 portal is about infinites, right? Because it's the 8th day of the 8th month, and 8s are all about infinity, but also about power and abundance. So two of those words showing up in this card, right? So it feels like you are about to have some sort of really big, beautiful blessing pour out onto you. And for all of you, it's going to be different as to what that is. But it feels like you are going to be rewarded for tying up old loose ends and cycles. We have the stars. It says divine guidance. Card number 33. You might be seeing threes possibly. It could be threes that you're seeing because look at this. We got 33. Card number 21 is a 3. So we've got 333. You might be seeing threes possibly. We have adversity. It says here, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. there's no point in being in this life without having some adversity. If you don't have adversity in your life, you're not learning lessons. And if you're not really learning many lessons, like if you don't have a whole lot of adversity in your life, you may be coming from a last life that was a hellscape. Maybe you learned a pile of lessons in the last life, and this is your time to coast. It could be that. But for a lot of us, we're dealing with adversity on a daily basis, right? Except that challenges are the best way to learn. If we don't come to places where we realize we've done something wrong or we could have done better and it doesn't redirect us, we're just going to keep in that cycle. So I feel like adversity is necessary. It's the push. It's the push against us. Don't go that way. Don't do that thing. Don't go down that road, right? It's the intuition that we need to listen to. All right. So I've got a new deck here, and we're going to look at it for a little bit. I've been using it all week so I can get my energy all over it, and it's gorgeous. We've got Marchetti Tarot. So I'm not sure if it's Marchetti, but Sarah Marchetti is one of my very, very favorite illustrators. It's got so much detail in the cards that I don't find in any other deck that just sort of lights my brain up. Let's see what we can get from this deck here. Let's find out what else is going on for Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. All right. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Woohoo! Yes. Enjoy the journey, because I feel like what it's bringing you to is something that's really valuable to you. So when you get to where you're going, when you get to wherever it is that you think is the end place, whatever accomplishment, let's say that you meet the goal that you set for yourself. I feel like it's the 10 of Pentacles that each pentacle is a lesson. Each pentacle is something you had to work hard for. And I feel like the wandering path, the end of the journey, it says here, enjoy the journey. The end of the journey, everything you've collected along the way, all of the pentacles we collect along, the whole cycle, I feel is like wisdom. It's stuff that you can look at that's tangible. You've got a tangible way of doing things. You've changed your mind. It feels like you are now looking into the future with wealth and health, a good outlook. You now have a future to look at, it feels like. So this is a really good omen that whatever is coming up at the end of the path is something you're taking in, all these lessons that you've learned along the wandering path. In my mind's eye, it looks like you wandering along the path and picking up all the coins as you go. And so it feels like it takes you into the future. We do have hello again, which is really interesting. Hello again and recycle. Guess what we have here? 6 of Cups. Look, there's something coming back round here for you, it feels like. Something possibly from the past, but look, it could be a past life that you have no knowledge of it. Maybe the situation shows up and it doesn't look like anything that you've ever done or seen or know, and it teaches you a lesson anyway. Something is about to show up for you. For some of you, it could be someone you recognize from this life. For others of you, it could be someone who shows up, or a situation or a job, that something, a cycle that needs to repeat in order for you to make a decision not to want to do that again. But it does feel like there is something coming up that you're going to feel familiar with, whether that's a relationship that's platonic or romantic. It's a family thing. It feels like something here is being recycled. And don't forget, we're still in retrograde, right? So things are coming to the surface so we can resolve things and we can let them go and keep moving here. We have grief, right? It says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And so this feels like there was a conversation, possibly in the past. I'm talking about those of you who this is someone that I'm talking about that you know in this life. It feels like there was a really harsh or aggressive conversation that came up between you and somebody that you have a long-term friendship, relationship. This could be a member of your family. It feels like it's showing up again because you're feeling loss, and it's time to resolve it, is what it feels like. It does feel like it was something that was quite painful. Look at that beautiful card. Beautifully tragic, right? So it feels like it was something that possibly someone said, Knight of Swords, someone said that was that really hurt you, really cut you, I would say. It was an aggressive move or a statement or a low blow, it feels like, and it really made you feel betrayed or hurt, pained by it. Now, I think with the 10 of Swords here, it tells me that you've already let it go, but I feel like it's coming back because it didn't have a closing to it. It didn't have a closed door. It feels like it's still an open door or unfinished business. It feels like somebody is somebody, something, a situation, a thought pattern, whatever it is, because we're dealing in swords, something is coming back so you can understand it and say, oh, okay, well, that's why that happened. Okay, now I get it. Now I can move on. All right, it's going to alleviate your grief, whatever it is. Tell me about the 10 of Pentacles and the Wandering Path, because I feel like wherever you're headed to, you're headed in the right direction. Oh, this is my favorite card in this deck. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. It's so beautiful. That's the Lovers. We've got, hear my little gasp. I know I'm dramatic. I'm a Sag rising. So you got the Wheel. Look at that. And then we've got the 10 of Wands. I really love that. The Empress is on the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck. When you look at the bottom of the deck, for me, it's always the future energy. All right. So the Lovers is here. The Wheel of Fortune. Guess what? I feel like your whatever it is that you are learning in the week ahead, there's a lesson that I feel you've probably already learned, and the week ahead is the resolve of that. So it feels like you finally detach from it because you now understand the lesson. You understand why that happened. You took the lesson, you're like, okay, now I understand as I look back there why that happened. And so it means you no longer have regrets. You're no longer angry about it. You're not holding a grudge. It feels like it's something you finally clear your energy of. And this is really beautiful. It feels like this is what shows up for you. The Lovers is here. It does feel like this is romantic. The Wheel of Fortune is here. Look at how really, truly sort of ethereal this looks. It's really beautiful, the Wheel of Fortune here with the Lovers. And so it really is giving me this feeling of, what is that? Oh, hang on a second. This is really beautiful. This card, as I'm looking at it here, have you ever seen the movie, The Greatest... what's the name of the movie? Okay, you're gonna have to put it in the comments because I'm not gonna stall on it here. But it's The Greatest Showman. That's what it is. And so I just heard. I close my eyes and I can see a dream that's waiting there for me. Hang on. Sorry, I don't mean to sing for you, but I'm trying to get the song. It's been waiting up for me. Look, the song is sung by Pink, I think. It could be sung by somebody else. I know other people have covered it. But I close my eyes and there I see a dream that's waiting up for me. I can't remember the lyrics. I know them all. I sing the song all the time while I'm at home, dancing around my kitchen, doing dishes. But if you'll look up those lyrics and just put, I close my eyes and then I see lyrics. That's what you can Google to get the song. And I will pin it if I find it here and I remember to pin it. Okay, anyways, back to the reading. Sorry, got sidetracked. So the Lovers and the Wheel is giving me this energy of there's the greatest thing you've ever wanted, the biggest blessing is about to show up in your life. And it feels like it's something that you've always wanted. For some of you, it is romantic. It does feel like it is. And it's an infinite abundance thing because it feels like a lot of people are showing up for you here. The Wheel of Fortune is change, it's destiny, and it's things that are in expansion. So it feels like things are moving forward for you and changing in a really big way for those of you who have been waiting for a certain somebody to show up to be your forever person. I think you're about to meet your forever person. We have the 10 of Wands, and it's only because for those of you who have finally released your grudges or your sadness or the person from the past or the whoever did you wrong, I feel like you're finally releasing it, dropping it, and not carrying it around with you anymore. And that really are the actions of the Empress. The Empress knows that they can make it on their own and do their own thing. They no longer have to carry the grudges from the past because they don't serve them. The Empress is the one who's going to forgive, right? The Queen of Cups, kindness, loving. That person who is deeply empathic. So I feel like you are finally letting go of something, which is putting you in the pocket of the slingshot and pushing you into the future. It feels like something here in the middle of the week, though, is going to show up to remind you where you came from, or so you can resolve something and let it go. If you've been seeing threes, I feel that this is probably you that I'm talking about. We have the Hierophant, we have the Chariot, okay, and the Queen of Swords. it feels almost like you're going to bump into somebody. I don't think like this is planned. I don't think somebody texts you or, sends you a formal letter of apology. I don't think that's what it is. I think it happens quickly because the Chariot is here. Feels like you bump into someone. Look, the Hierophant is here. It could be at church. Could be at church. It could be in your spiritual group. But I feel like you're a different person, Sag, than you were when you saw this person last. And I feel that when you saw this person last, there may have been some harsh words, something that really hurt you, or there was a complete and total ending because of somebody who really betrayed you. I feel, Sag, that you've grown up, and I feel like you are in the Queen of Swords energy. And please understand that the Queen of Swords energy, the Queen of Swords is not going to be offended by someone telling the truth, because the Queen of Swords is the truth. So I feel like this is recycling or showing up again for you to be able to face it with the boundaries that you have set, right? Because the Queen of Swords, who's really beautiful here, has boundaries. And so I feel like it shows up really quickly. It does feel like with the Chariot energy that you bump into someone, literally. Like it feels like you bump into them at a lineup or maybe at a social gathering or something like that. And it's only really for the purpose of you to speak out loud what you wished you could always have said. And so I feel like you are really honest. And although the Queen of Swords can be very intimidating, I guess, but I think only intimidating because a lot of people can't handle the truth. They don't like the truth. They don't want to speak about the truth. They'd rather speak about the things that they made up in their head rather than what really happened. And I feel like now the truth is apparent. And so I feel with the Chariot energy, everything was under the surface and now it's coming to the surface. The Queen of Swords wouldn't have it any other way. So the Hierophant tells me that you are dealing with it in a very slow moving, grounded way with it also could be somebody you used to work with, because the Hierophant can also be the workplace, or I would say a corporation, right? A place where you used to work. I feel like maybe back there you may have been stuck in your ways. And I feel like with the Queen of Swords now, you just are saying the things that you want to say and that you are a little bit more in balance, because the Queen of Swords is Libra. So you're a little bit more in your balanced energy and you're saying things without getting arrogant or angry or snappy, because that's not how the Queen of Swords does it. The Queen of Swords doesn't want to ruffle feathers, just wants to get the honesty and truth out there. So we have grief. Now, I feel like this is a person that maybe in the past you would have thought it was your loss, but I think as they show up again, it's not your loss. So maybe it's a person you used to work with and you thought that that was like the best job of your life, and then when they show up, you're like, oh, yeah, now I remember really what it was like back there. I'm glad I left that place. So it's going to be different for all of you, but we do have the King of Swords and we have grief. I think you get a quick realization here that this grief isn't something you needed to grieve. I think you felt like you needed to grieve it back there because of the place you were in. Maybe you were stuck, right? The Hierophant is a stuck energy, can be, right? Taurus energy. Maybe you planted your feet in the sand and said, no, this is the way, the only way. And so I feel like now with this Gemini energy, it's a little more fluid, or it's a little more, what am I trying to say? It's a little more that you have more of an open mind now. Okay, tell me about this. We have a Death card. Yeah, something did come to an end and you just moved on here. The Seven of Swords. So I think that you left the situation saying, well, that person's a liar. They're a liar, and what they said just doesn't really have anything to do with me. But I think it took you some time, because I think with the Eight Swords here, I feel like you were up in your head for a while, Sag. That you thought about it, obsessively thought about it. Why did they say that? Is that really me? Like, I think that you thought about it over and over again. But I really do feel like once you get through this in the middle of the week, look, this could be a clearing of your mind. You could come to the realization of something. Maybe you don't see anybody or meet anybody. But the Six of Cups is about, old thoughts, being stuck in nostalgia. It could be something that you clear your mind with. Quickly you come to a realization of, oh, that's what that was. Okay, well, now we can move on. But I feel like back there you couldn't move on because you were stuck in your ways. So the Death card is here, right? The end of the Knight of Swords, which I think is the harsh thing that was said. The thing that hurt your feelings, that put you in the Eight of Swords. I feel like the Death card is here to say that's the end of it. No more. We're not going to feel bad about that. We're not going to overthink that anymore, because what they said was a lie. It was their perspective or perception of you. And you don't have to take anyone else's perception of you. When you're confident in yourself and the truth that you hold, then you don't have to listen to other people's opinions of you. And so when you're really aware, self-aware, I'm not talking about someone who's unaware, I'm talking about if you're really self-aware, you really know who you are. And so you know if that person was telling the truth or not. I think you make a decision whether someone shows up or not. Maybe they don't at all. Maybe it's just a clearing of the mind. Yeah, why did I let that person make me feel the way that they did? I think there was a bit of grief you were going through. But we do have the Six of Swords. It tells me you decide to just let it go. I'm out. I'm just going to let it go. But I think that you had to hold on to it up till now because divine guidance is here. The star is here. So you had to wait for divine timing to understand it. And I feel like it's a really beautiful time. But I think this was a really hard time of adversity for you, trying to make sense of it. All right. So we're going to talk way more about this in the extended. If you'd like to be there, come on into the extended. You can find the extended link. So the extended will be in the membership area, or you can purchase this extended outright if you'd like to. And you don't have to come into the membership area, but we're reaching a threshold there where we're going to do a bit of a celebration alive, and we're going to do the giving away of some 5-minute readings in alive. And we also, you can find all of this information in the pinned comment right under every video that I upload. Also, I do have private readings open if you are interested in that. You can get a pre-recorded reading. If you would like to book for that, you can book it at Hypsee. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the description, but in the pinned comment as well. And I also have live readings there. So if you want to book a live reading with me, we can talk over the phone or via video if you'd like to do that. And you can get anywhere from 5 to 75% off of the live readings. You simply get a discount just for booking in advance. So if you'd like to do that, I'd love to speak with you. I'm having a lot of fun speaking with people. Bottom of the deck, we have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is saying, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I feel like you were silent with somebody, and I think that now it doesn't matter. I feel like you've let it go. We're going to put down 3 cards, which is going to be advice or what's going to happen in the future. After we get through this reading here, tell me what's going on. Look, right, it called the 7 of Swords, and the 1 is 8. This person was lying. They were trying to attack you because they didn't feel very good about themselves. I feel like it was a lie. Whatever they said was a lie. And we have the 8 of Swords here, but you kept it. You held it with you. It's sort of an obsessive energy. But now look at this. Beautiful. The Justice card is here. So it feels like you finally give it up and you come back into balance. It's karma being paid back. Yeah. We've got the Temperance card. Healing is here. It's healing from the mind. Whatever you were thinking about. Swords, 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 swords. Like we have so many swords here. It feels like you were caught in the mind about something. So for some of you, it could be a person who shows up. Absolutely. That helps you resolve something. You get to say it. You get to get it out. For others of you, it's a clearing of the mind. No one's showing up. It's just a change of mind, essentially, because the change is right here with the Wheel of Fortune. You drop the burden, change your mind, and you carry on. We do have the 2 of Wands. It looks like there is going to be some action you need to take, whether that's deciding to change your mind could be the action. But it also could be that taking action when someone shows up to speak with you could be that as well. Look, we're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk more about what this means, and then we're going to talk about this stuff. And if this is a person that does show up, we're going to talk about the conversation and what is going to be said there. So I'm going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, then please come join us. And if I don't see you in the extended, that's cool. I'll be back because I'm always back. And love you, Sag. I'm out for now. See you there. Bye-bye.